We're joined with Rayana Ragan right now. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to chat with you.
Absolutely. So before I get into the questions, how's everything holding along with you, health wise and everything since this pandemic?
It's actually I'm doing the best I can. I think everybody's kind of trying to find out how to make this work for them. I know, of course, mentally it's been very difficult for a lot of people at minimum. So for myself, it's the biggest thing has been focusing obviously on my physical health, but also on my mental health. Um, so that's been I actually have started teaching children how to horseback ride at a barn. So that's what I'm actually sitting in my car outside of the barn right now. So being able to get outside and be active in a safe way, that's been my biggest kind of personal goal, as far as the COVID pandemic goes. But how about yourself? Obviously you're doing all this and you're staying creative and staying active,
Yep,
seems like.
pretty much. I'm glad that I get to do this. It's become a passion of mine. It's something that I've done for over 13 years. Um,
Amazing.
and it's still going. I feel like I have a
Mm.
purpose of promoting and supporting local artists, independent artists, actors, actresses, comedians. This has become something that I love. And when this pandemic happened, at least I knew what I can do. Um, I wasn't getting out the house that much. I was working, and I'm here at home doing this radio program. So shout out to you and to all the artists that's been putting out some amazing music during this time because it's definitely so much needed.
Well, thank you for that, and I appreciate your giving us a platform to talk about what we do and why we do it. I'm so glad that obviously you've been allowed to continue doing this. It's not the pandemic hasn't inhibited your ability to pursue your own passions as well too, which I think that's great for you.
Very, very true. So yesterday you released a new song
Yes.
called Faith. And that is
Yes.
something that not just this country needs, but the whole world needs. Needs another faith with so much uncertainty with this pandemic. So talk about recording this song and how you feeling about it. 20 less than 24 hours since the song release.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about having the song out. It's been an interesting path getting here. I recorded Godless, the EP album, in January of this year. So having the song recorded so long ago and then just now getting out is it's definitely been a long time coming. I took a little bit of a different approach to releasing my EP album than I think some other artists do, where you'll or you'll release a single or two and then you'll release the rest of the EP. I've actually released my EP one song at a time, and basically slow fed it out into the universe. So I'm very excited for Faith to finally be out there. It's obviously been on my mind for a while and planned out for a long time. So, the excitement has been building. And I think it's been really well received. People have been really excited about having the song out. It's a bit of a pivot, by the way of the emotion and mood behind the song. It's a little bit more of a, I guess, anthem, if you will. It has a very kind of catchy tag that you can sing along with. So I'm excited to have more people listen to it. And the song itself is about kind of having your faith restored after, I mean, in this specific instance, having your faith and love restored after being jaded by having multiple heartbreaks and things just not kind of go your way. And then find someone who restores your faith in the fact that maybe you can find love and maybe it is all possible for you. I think it symbolizes as well too, just kind of how life can kind of knock us down along the way, and still having the willingness within ourselves to be open to possibilities and new beginnings, and not necessarily living in the past. So again, having faith in the fact that things can and will get better for you.
Basically overcoming adversity. Um,
Yeah.
so it's I've heard it a couple times, and I actually played it earlier this evening.
Ah!
Um, I really enjoyed the song. I've also heard your previous songs that um, Godless and the other songs. I definitely enjoyed this music that you've done,
Thank you.
that you've been
I
doing.
appreciate that.
Um, People like to put artists in the box, trying to figure out what type of music that they do. Um,
Mm.
in your own words, from your perspective, how would you describe the type of music that you do?
I describe it as soul pop, but there's definitely like rock and blues and jazz and electronic elements mixed in there. I have such eclectic taste that I wanted to kind of bring in all of my favorites all into one, and try and make it a kind of interesting new take on the pop and soul pop genre. But I kind of define it more as soul pop than anything else.
I like that soul pop.
Yeah.
I've never heard of those genres next to each other. I've never heard of an artist that I've interviewed that's tried to put those two together. So that's pretty unique. And for the music that I've heard, I definitely look forward to hearing more. Um, so you talked about Godless. That's going to be your EP. Now you're doing one song at a time. Um, but any timetable as to when this EP will be fully released?
So actually, at this point, it pretty much is. So basically, when I release the Godless EP as a whole, I will have Why Mama Why, Scorn, Godless, Rock Bottom, and Faith on it. There is a intro that is exclusive to the EP, as well as when I kind of do the formal release of it. There will be merch, there'll be vinyl, all of that stuff to kind of go along with the kind of official EP drop. So all the songs, again, it's kind of a funny way of releasing music, of releasing them all as singles. But I wanted to give each song on the Godless EP its own individual airtime. It's because each song tells such an independent story that means so much to me personally, that I didn't want to just release the Godless EP and then have a conversation about the EP as a whole and not be able to take the time to independently dive in on different media platforms about what each song specifically means. Because I think that in that way, it can take away a little bit of the power that I intended for each song to have. So I know it's a little bit kind of tricky to to explain for sure, but at this point, the Godless EP with Faith coming out is now actually released. Again, there will be an intro exclusive to the EP album that will come out when I put Godless the EP up on streaming platforms and put it up for sale on Merck's website.
I actually like your approach to this. You're giving like every song like you spacing them out. Like you're not just putting them out week after week. You're giving each song like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this for a while, wait for the next song, and boom, you release the next song, and then it's like clockwork. Um, I like your approach to it, and I like what else that you have in store. So I'll definitely look forward to it. Be on the lookout for Godless EP coming at y'all soon, and more material on the way for this incredible artist. Who do you consider like your musical influences, artists that inspire you, whether it's mainstream or independent? Who do you consider your influences in music?
I have actually had the pleasure of co-writing with one of my influences, who is Kobe, Cobi. I think that his music is great, and so he and I actually were able to connect and co-write a song, which I am looking to uh, record at some time in the very near future. So he's definitely one of them. Bishop Briggs is another big one. Jacob Banks, Joseph Angel, Halsey. I think those are kind of the main current ones that definitely pull my ear and that I kind of have on repeat, kind of keeping tabs on what they do and how I can kind of have my own take on it. But those are definitely some of my biggest current influences.
I really like Hazy. She really got my attention in the past year or so. She's definitely a wife. She's been a wife, but she really getting the attention of the mainstream, and she's doing incredible. She's such an incredible artist. I like her.
Yeah, and she as well definitely with what was it, Manic, released a lot of songs that had so many different influences but somehow all still fit together. That her having the courage to be bold and try to recreate things like Queen and things like that from that aren't necessarily current sounds necessarily, but making them her own and making it current. I think that having that courage to kind of rework classics is definitely very brave, because classics, kind of, you don't want to necessarily recreate them because the original artist did such a good job. So try to copy it kind of seems like you're just trying to copy it. I think that she definitely makes a lot of really bold moves. And so as an artist, that's really empowering to watch somebody do that and actually have success.
Yeah, she whatever she's doing, you know what I say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. She has something good going. Um, so
Exactly.
so props to her. I see that you're not just an artist. You
Yes.
do you do modeling, you do
Mhm.
acting, you do like a variety of things, obviously. Um, so with that being said, now you got Godless EP on the way. People gonna be look forward to that. What else outside of music? What do you have in store that you can at least that you are able to tell us as far any other non-music plans you have in the works as we draw near the end of 2020?
Yeah. I let's see. I just did a big campaign for the launch of Lauren Conrad Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one of the big ones that I did earlier this year. There's another really big job that I did that's going to be coming out this spring, but I'm not at liberty to discuss it. So just keep your eyes peeled for that one. That job is, I'm very excited about it coming out, and it's killing me right now that I can't tell you what it is. But there's a very big job coming out again in spring of 2021. I'm trying to think what else is coming out. I feel like just been trying to get as much work as I can in so many different areas. Obviously, the industry was really chopped off at the knees with the pandemic, so things have been a little bit slow to come up. Oh, another actually one that I just did was for Kit undergarments. So that's really exciting. Um, so that's coming out, I believe, in the next week as well too. It's a female-owned company. They're super lovely women. I'm so happy that I got to work with them. Just really creative. They're celebrity stylists. They have all this experience in styling, and they actually just decided a year ago to create this brand of undergarments. So it's really amazing to see both women and moms take this chance on themselves and create this lovely, amazing brand that empowers women. So I'm really excited for that job to release as well. That's probably all that I can talk about at the current point in time, but there's a lot of exciting other stuff coming up too.
Gotcha. Um, so basically, she's got a lot in the works. So keep an eye on that. Um, I see you book major campaigns for clients such as PacSun, American Eagle, Bookbarn, Fila. That's my favorite. Milani and Burt Bees.
Yes.
You you definitely your network skills are definitely on point for sure. Uh, what's up like to have all these campaigns? Networking, working with, even with the circumstances we are in right now. Was it like just being able to work with so many, or surround yourself with so much good, talented, good, well-minded people per se?
I definitely feel very fortunate. I've been in the fashion industry my entire life. My dad used to be a fashion photographer. My mom used to be a model. Grew up for a couple of years in LA, pretty much on set or backstage at a runway show somewhere. So definitely have had it as a part of my life in one way or another, whether I was in front of the camera or hanging out behind it, just watching all the madness. So being able to take it on into my adulthood and find success there, I definitely feel, again, very very fortunate, because it's a tough industry to break into and to find long term success in. So I having the resume that I do and be able to say that I've done all these things is definitely a really cool feeling for me. And in this pandemic, and with, again, things kind of shutting down for a little bit and there being a huge level of uncertainty regardless of what industry you're in, still having these reliable clients that even still find ways of making it work to be able to create content and be able to still kind of work together, even though it looks a lot different now than it did prior to the pandemic. I'm definitely very thankful to those clients who, are making it happen regardless of the circumstances. So again, feeling very fortunate that I have been able to build that network around myself.
So, for more info on our guest for the evening, Rayana, you can check out her website at www.rayanaragan.com. Um, that's spelled Rayana, Wagan, not Reagan as a Ronald Reagan. The last name is pronounced differently. Ragan, and I want to thank Trevor for correcting me, because when I promoted the show, I got your last name wrong, so I had to fix that. That's my bad, Trevor. If you're listening, so
Well, I I appreciate you correcting it and taking the time to spell it out. I know it's a lot of A's that are in there. So yeah, no, I get all the time whenever I say my last name is Reagan, people are like the president. I'm like, it's a little different.
it's, the pronunciation is there, just the spelling part. And
Exactly.
and in my defense, I was writing this stuff down through my notes, and autocorrect has a mind of its own. It kind of spelled Reagan, and I was like, no, that's not how her name is pronounced. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
okay.
Yeah. So
my phone still autocorrects my own name to Ratana, so it's totally fine.
so
I'm like, I feel like we've known each other for long enough for you to know it's Rayana, but whatever.
yeah, that too. It was great chatting with you. A pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time. Please, everybody, go stream her latest song, Faith. It just came out just yesterday. It's out on all digital music platforms. Be on the lookout for the Godless EP. And great having you on the show. Thank you so much. And continued success, and continue to be safe.
Thank you. You as well. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for having me on your show. I wish you the best moving forward.